On this episode of the China Chronicles, Jiu Shi. I probably butchered that some bit, but hey, I'm trying, I'm learning. Welcome back to the Game Changers podcast, China Chronicles. This week I'll be revealing a week packed with intrigue and wonder, as usual, particularly given that we visited various sites across Beijing and learned some valuable lessons about how China is utilizing art and culture to propel their nation forward. I can't wait to showcase to you what exactly I learned on this journey. This week we had a shorter week than usual. However, it was seriously impactful. On Monday, we paid a visit to the Peking Opera in Beijing to experience Chinese culture in a remarkable way. To begin our experience, various participants dressed up in traditional Chinese wear and makeup to truly embrace the culture of the opera. The costumes and makeup were as dazzling as they were complex and delicate. These designs in particular are based on the styles of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Following the dress-up segment, we were graced with a display of the Chinese opera by expert practitioners. The storytelling mixed with humor and physical aptitude really brought us as an audience back to a time, era, and period. While I was sitting there, it made me wonder, in what ways is the Caribbean celebrating the arts? How can we tell our history through visual means just like this? I found out that the government over here heavily subsidizes the arts and entertainment. China views culture and arts as an essential tool for both national identity and soft power, and you can certainly see it. This could be something that the Caribbean can follow, not just in the future, but right now. On Tuesday, we paid a visit to the world-renowned Forbidden City. The structure, well known as the Palace Museum today, stands as a testament to China's rich history and cultural heritage. It was constructed during the Ming Dynasty in the early 15th century and served as an imperial palace for over 500 years, housing 24 emperors of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Its construction was a monumental undertaking, and it took about 14 years to complete. The palace complex covers an area of 720,000 square meters, consisting of 980 surviving buildings with over 70 halls and palaces. This is a massive structure. It's the largest palace and wooden structure complex in the entire world. The complex is divided into two main sections. The outer court, consisting of 3 grand halls and ceremonial spaces, and the inner court, reserved exclusively in the olden days for the emperor and his family. The visit provided a unique opportunity for us to learn about the cultural diversity of ancient China and historical significance of this remarkable UNESCO World Heritage Site. Our region in the Caribbean is filled with historical sites. Do we place this level of emphasis and significance on them? That is a question that we should ask ourselves. Maybe we should promote lesser-known sites through documentaries, social media, and cultural programs, and encourage storytelling through online platforms to make these sites more relatable to a younger generation. We could also invest in restoration and maintenance to prevent decay of these underappreciated sites and encourage corporate sponsorships for conservation projects. On Wednesday, journalists received a crash course in the Chinese language for an introduction to Chinese activity. We learned words such as jija, meaning journalist. We also learned the basic number system from 1 to 10 in Mandarin, which goes something like this: yi, er, san, se, wu, liao, qi, ba, jiu, shi. I probably butchered that some bit, but hey, I'm trying, I'm learning. And this brings me to the importance of understanding and speaking Mandarin in today's globalized society. Mandarin is quickly becoming even more important. Those who can speak this language will be able to communicate with over 1.4 billion people who speak Mandarin globally. Additionally, a growing middle class in China offers significant opportunities for companies in luxury goods, tech, education, healthcare, and more. If you want an edge in international business today, learn Chinese. And that is exactly what I'm trying to do. From Thursday onward, our group was free to participate in whatever we felt like. In China, Labor Day festivities last a whole 5 days, allowing for joy and celebration of hardworking people. What is being done in your country for hardworking people? Now, for this week's key takeaways. One of the major things which stood out to me this week was the Chinese's love for art. In the Peking Opera, you could truly see how they cared for the intricate details of things. Not only did they invest in putting together the production, but they put money into the art in general. You could see how they really emphasized keeping Chinese culture alive, and not just keeping it alive for themselves, but keeping it alive for others as well, showcasing Chinese culture to the masses. And it's very important to do so. It is very important to understand that people who come to your country might not naturally understand who you are, where you come from, what your value systems are. And one of the best ways to do that is to do it through art, to showcase what your culture is like and to help connect people with your culture. The Chinese opera was really, really entertaining. It was really humorous as well. And we we got to participate and feel connected to Chinese culture in a way that otherwise we would not have. Additionally, some of us were able to actually take some time to participate in the actual proceedings as well. And it really, again, showcased how the Chinese want people to come and to connect with their culture. They are very sharing. They really want people to understand who they are in essence, and art is one of the perfect ways to do so. And I think the Caribbean, well, not just think, I know that the Caribbean can do a better job at sharing our culture. You think of something like in St. Lucia, we have Journée Creole, which is Creole Day. And we don't make it such a big deal in St. Lucia. It's not of of an international caliber. I mean, our jazz festival and our carnival have grown and are now becoming bigger deals, which is very good. That is also St. Lucian culture. But I think we can be doing a lot more to promote the arts and the uniqueness of St. Lucian culture in that light. And I'm sure it's true for other countries around the Caribbean with their own carnivals, with their own cultural activities. We definitely can be doing a better job at that. And the Chinese are definitely leading the way, showing how simple it can be to just showcase our culture to other individuals. And the world wants to know about us. Trust me. The Chinese are very interested in learning about our culture, and as we are also interested in learning about theirs. So I think they're really leading the way in that regard, and that's something that we definitely could learn from them. Another key standout this week was the uniqueness of the Chinese language and how it emphasizes more than just communication. It really emphasizes a Chinese philosophy. One of the phrases in Chinese is "Ni chun lama," and that is a typical greeting, and it means "Have you eaten?" And that really stood out to me because it is not just asking whether or not you're doing okay, right? But it's really going into the depth of your being. Now, Nichanama doesn't mean that they actually want to give you food necessarily, but it's a general greeting, and it's a typical greeting. It's like saying hello, and it emphasizes the true care that they have for each other. And that is, from what I'm understanding and learning now, that is really what the Chinese language is about. It's really about expressing a feeling in a clear way, right? And there are several Chinese characters. I can't even remember how many, but there are many, many Chinese characters, and each of them can mean various things given various situations. But it's diverse in the sense that it can be utilized to really communicate in the purest form and also communicate in the deepest form. That is part of the reason why I would love to really grasp and learn the language as well. And that was very eye-opening to me this week. I think that is something that many people don't really understand until they experience Chinese culture and maybe also learn the Chinese language. So that is something that is a big goal of mine. I want to have Game Changers content in Chinese maybe very soon. And we want to embrace this foreign and amazing culture as well so that we can connect with the eastern side of the world and not just have a western mindset alone, but also align with our eastern brothers and sisters as well. So that was really eye-opening this week, how beautiful and how complex as well the Chinese language is. It really stood out to me. This was yet another edition of the China Chronicles. Thank you so much for coming to listen. Remember, as always, to like, subscribe, and share our content so that others can benefit from this information. This is Quincy once again signing off and reminding you, as always, to stay hungry, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.